Hey, let me tell you something, man. I love having a country girl behind the boards, man. Hey, be quiet, baby. You can't be talking. We going live. You can't be talking while I'm counting down. A West Coast girl be like, shut the fuck. No, a West Coast girl would be quiet. She would be like, I'm a snitch. She'll just be, and next thing you know, you're fired. An East Coast girl might be like, shut the fuck. I love it. Bobby, man, I swear to God. Bobby, how your bladder get full and you just sat down? This man took 2 sips of green juice and he got that diaper full. Hey, we live, Ecor. Did you know that? Oh shit, yeah. Say hi to everybody, Ecor. Hey, just welcome to the first Zoet of 2020. We wild up in here. We wild lemurs. Hey, man, I'm very happy to have a crew back together, man, for yet another Zoet show. Now, peep game on how we do the Zoet get down. Zoet is typically current events. You know, dig? And we have a underlining topic. The current events we choose fit the topic of what we really want to talk about. And normally we let the current events lead the discussion. I read a little bit of it, and then we start laughing and joking and clowning. And then drop a little insight, drop some information. You know how we do. But this today is, listen, man. It's so much going on in the world that I personally, I get frustrated. I'm like an empath, I think. As I get older, I think I get more empathetic. When I was young, I didn't give a fuck. I could ignore. I could ignore a lot of shit. You know, just be like, hey, I'm part of the shit. I'm with the shits. You know what I mean? But as I get older, you know, I think I'm becoming a little bit more empathic. And we, of course, we're waiting. Look at his chair. Look. CPT. He gonna be here. Bobby had to clean out his diaper, his Depends. He'll be back in a minute. I'm telling you, Bobby took 2 sips of this juice, and that shit went right through his colon. This is whoop. Let me get it. Then Bobby ran out here, dropped the microphone, kicked the chair over. Yo, hold up, this shit about to come out.
It's better out of me than it is in me. I bet you that.
But that's what we do on this show. Like, if this is your first time tuning in, just understand, man, that it's time that... That's how Bobby was looking. Somebody was in the bathroom. Bobby was looking like... I got to wait.
Yeah, that's about funny as a train wreck.
And then, so, like I said, if this is your first time tuning in for 2020, that's what we do, man. We chop it up, current events, and we do it old school style. We got a panel of brothers from diverse walks of life that can really expound on different aspects of, you know, everything that we put in front of you. But before I get into the show, what we normally do is promote a couple of things, and I'm high off this right now. Nah, man, let me be honest, though. Let me be honest. My supply is low.
He's rationing it out to himself. He's sipping on it.
No, I'm saying. My supply low in the mud.
The golden child.
Now, I was supposed to connect with the brother to get another 10, 12 cases. And somehow, you know, we got crossed up and kind of missed each other. I'm low, brother. If you watching, it's gonna be a gang of pookies out on the streets if I don't get this. Look, I need this total package energy, black-owned business. Let's move and listen. Why you guys? Let me tell you something about black people. This is what I'm saying, man. It's a lot of stuff we got to work on. And it's 2020. I remember back in the day, 2020 felt like some weird Star Trek, Star Wars, off in the distant kind of time. Like, yeah, by the time 2020 come around, we're going to have flying cars and we're going to be like the Jetsons. I remember that. I remember, vividly, we had those kind of imaginations around 2020. Now, technologically speaking, we're not there yet. But psychologically speaking, I feel like we're still in the Stone Age as it pertains to what has happened to us here in America. Whether it be Jim Crow, redlining, and all these other different things. So I bring all of that up to say, man, we got to stop faking it. If Bobby talks about real men don't play, and he tells you to go buy his book, and there's 60 or 56,000 subscribers here, and 1 or 0 people buy his book, what are you here for?
Entertainment, boy.
You understand what I'm saying?
Get the shuffling, nigga.
No, and what's amazing is I saw this old video. I don't know how I found it. I'll be on YouTube or whatever. I don't know, but I found this video. You know how you find something you ain't looking for, and it find you, and it tell you everything you need. I saw this old video of Khalid Muhammad. Now, back in the day, when I was in Altadena, when we had that bookstore in Altadena, I met Khalid. On Pico, at the Roscoe's on Pico, I was with Zipporah, I was with Angel, I had the crew with me. And there's Bobby's age.
And there it is.
And what was crazy was he recognized the flag I had on, and we chopped it up at Roscoe's. And it just, anyway.
Nah, he was a dope brother.
He was dope as hell, man. I had 20 minutes with him, and we chopped it up.
That's what's up, man.
And now that's one of those memories you be like, nigga, I met Khalid Muhammad.
Dude, he was off the chain. Y'all don't know who Khalid was. Y'all need to go look him up now.
But I saw this video, and you know what he said? He was banging on our people for always desiring to be entertained over enlightened. When I promote these businesses, y'all skip past the section that promotes the businesses.
Of course, nigga. Get to the damn information, nigga.
When I tell y'all to support, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the super chat button, y'all act like, nigga, this is to get me through work. This ain't for me to really be participating in nothing.
Right, nigga. Got you on in the background.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you background music for me, nigga, to get through the day.
I'm in my cubicle, nigga.
You understand? This is cubicle ambience. And that really bothers me about us because we be the ones the loudest complaining. So what does Zoe do? Zoe, I'm a thinker just by nature, just who I am by nature. Zoe says, well, what's the difference between demand and command? So I bring that concept to the table. If you're demanding something, that means you don't have it. If you command something, that means they give it to you freely. Right? And I'm saying we as a people are in a position of always demanding, whether it be civil rights. I demand my rights. Nigga, when we wrote this, we didn't have you in mind.
Right. Excuse me, nigga.
Sorry.
You're blocking my vision, nigga.
I'm not even, nigga. You're not even a human. Don't we have one of you in a zoo somewhere, nigga? The little monkey man? Okay. So again, if we want to be different in 2020, we got to change the way we get down with our people, the way we rock with our people. If Kevin and Hassan with the juices and my man Abdul with the energy drink, right? With total package energy. if these are people, brothers, struggling to build a brand, right? Bobby's building a brand, like he said, my book don't spoil. Right? The book don't spoil, right, Bobby?
And that's a
So
dope
that
line,
means
too.
you can always go to Amazon.com and find Bobby's Real Men Don't Play and support that book. In mass, in numbers. So if I present 5 products up here and I tell y'all to go get all 5, I guarantee you all 5 products won't cost over $150. Right? But if and it's none of my business what you do with your money, right? It's not. But you got people out here agreeing or disagreeing with Dr. Claude Anderson. You got people agreeing with Dr. Claude Anderson. But the majority of us have never put anything into practice to know if the shit is right or wrong anyway. Right. You get what? Most of us sitting around going, did it work for you? Right. Let me know if it worked for you, then. Do you get what I'm saying?
After that.
So, in 2012, which is crazy, July 2012 is when we started the So What show.
That's 8 years ago.
In 2012,
That's crazy.
when we started the So What show, I said, we gotta do community empowerment. Not for the sake of ourselves, but for the sake of the businesses that we're putting in front of the people. You remember that Freedom Toilet Paper, Freedom Paper Company? Yeah. They blew up off of us. And no disrespect to the good brothers. That brother sent me a year's worth. He tracked me down and said, is you the Zoe that's talking about? He said, because this thing done got out of hand. He said, man, thank you. And you know what he did? It was a kind gesture. That's why I said there's no disrespect, because I didn't ask him for nothing. I promoted him for free. Right. He sent a year's worth, toilet paper, and a check for $300. That was his way of saying thank you. Now, at the end of the day, if we don't change how we get down, if we don't change how we behave regarding our businesses, then where's the leverage gonna come from? If businesses equal something, I don't know what the fuck it equals. Liquidity, security, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what it equals. So I'm not here to tell you what business equals. But if we looking for some type of traction, let's just call business traction. We looking for some traction in the game.
My foot in the ground good.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and we don't support our own and we don't build up our own, it's gonna be kind of hard to move forward. So I say all of that to say, TotalPackageEnergy.com, go get, that's them, Freedom Paper bathroom tissue. We blew them up. That dude had to open up a whole new facility somewhere. He said, man, we done opened up a facility now. That's it. Okay.
That's what's up, though. That's what it's supposed to be like.
You get what I'm saying?
The Wilson is different now.
He got no new logos and everything.
Hey, man, I'm winning. Total Package Energy. The Hurricane Report. Man. There it is. That sister and this team of people they have, it's led by a sister. I ain't gonna say who she is. But it's led by a sister, and the team that she got, man, they got an amazing business going. That's a journalistic endeavor, right? And they killing. I get a lot of my stories from them. The Hurricane Report. Pull up there so I can see their, there it is, h-report.news, h_report, that's REEEPOORT, that's the Instagram, h_report, Twitter, at the h-report2. So, what else do I have? Oh, the relationship dismount, how to take the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. We need to sell out. Let's sell out. It's book time. Me and Bobby book time. Me and Bobby book time, goddammit. It's time to sell out. I want everybody to go get. Let's see, it's 370 people in here right now. People still coming in the chat room. Let's move 400 copies of Bobby's book.
Why not?
One copy apiece. Can we do that? 400 copies. Bobby, let me know.
If I may, I appreciate, the acknowledgement. And a long time ago, I figured out something. If you're really doing something you feel is important and necessary, then you endure. The greatest selling book of all time, outside of the Bible, is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It took him 25 years. 25 years. And what that means to me is whenever it happens, if I have really put together something that's of value, it may be the next generation. And I don't say that hopefully. It would be great if it happened now. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you have to attach yourself to your vision in such a way that you sustain the momentum internally. Mm-hmm. And know that people are not going to necessarily move on your timeline. And as a result, you have to look in that mirror and ask yourself, did I really mean to do this? Because if I did, I'm going to ride out the storm.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Bobby, for your inspirational words during the community empowerment segment.
That's why my book ain't selling. You see what I mean? He'll give it and then snatch it back.
I love Bobby, man. Man, goddamn it. Whatever Bobby talking about.
Let me help you up there. Bobby, let me help you up.
Go get the man book, please. Also, please go support the Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. There are various ways to get it, all right? Various ways to get it. If you have an iPhone, you can get it on the little iBooks Get Down. If you have a Kindle, you can get it on Kindle. If you want the paperback, you can get it from Amazon.com on paperback. If you want the Audible, you can get it from Audible.com. That's that book. The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. 12 chapters, workbook questions after each chapter. It's a progressive learn. I tell people to support it, especially if they're having relationship issues. You guys come together, read a chapter a day. You guys can work some things out if you follow what's in the book. The second book is The Holographic Relationship, the follow-up to the Relationship Dismount. The paperbacks are only available on my website, IamZoeWilliams.com.
Not on Amazon?
No. Only thing on Amazon is the Kindle. That's it. And you can get it on the Apple iBooks. But if you want a paperback version specifically, that's where I make the most money. Paperback. That's where I get a piece of change. Whereas Amazon, they take half of everything. Right. Yes. Kindle, ebook, the paperbacks that people are buying, they half. Yep. They like an African. Mama. They do, yeah. Eddie, why you treat me like this, Eddie? So again, this is where I can make a little piece of change. We only have I keep saying this because we haven't really sold any. We only have like 400 copies left, physical copies left. I'm urging everybody to get over there to IamZoeWilliams.com and buy all 400 copies. 400 people, right? Buy a book a piece. Buy Bobby's, buy my book. Kev, what do you have?
Yep. So, man, 2020, y'all got to start learning your rights, man. That's just the move. And I'm not going to be off of that. So, realnoggets.com. You go to realnoggets.com and get the Melanin Book of Research. This is the research they've been doing on you for the past 114 years, where they found out stuff like the reason for the civil rights movement was because your melanin was turned on. If you go ahead and you get the hard copy book, this right here, then I will give you the Know Your Rights package. That's going to be the Know Your Rights card and the Know Your Rights manual for free. Everybody have this is the end. And also, I'm going to start on the 19th, which is this Sunday. I'm going to start a police stop law class. And so, if you want to sign up for that, just go to patreon.com/realnagas, and the people who are signed up for that can be a part of the police stop law class. And new videos I just put out. It's the Kung Fu of Law. And Kung Fu means learn skill. So it's the Kung Fu of Law for black people. If you go to youtube.com/realnagas, you can check that new documentary out. Gotta learn it.
What's up, man?
Get that tight ass top in here and sell these damn juices.
So
Tight top.
you guys are funny.
It is 2020 tight top.
You guys know it's a new year, so everybody always comes out with New Year's resolutions all the time.
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution. I said that clearly. No, not
Listen, man.
It wasn't clear. I got
That
it.
shit was not.
New
This
Year's
motherfucker
resolution.
said New Year's resolution.
But listen up, people.
The fuck?
There's all kind of information about how you eat, what to eat.
Oh,
but let's be conscious of our body for the 2020 and make it a lifestyle change to always have fruits and vegetables into your diet all the
Yes,
time.
New Year's resolutions.
Make it
Very
I
important.
said make it a lifestyle.
No, you didn't. You said resolution.
Hey, so I always got to keep you guys going, but it's all right. I got to get a new word for
I
you.
just need to understand, why is it that you stumble and fumble words all the time? You've been doing this show for years now. Is it nerves?
Listen,
Everybody should get their New Year's resolution. And
You
get some weed juice because it helps on a molecular level. Like, you have work. Did you see the film? Like, I just don't understand.
first of all, fem is a word. Molecular, that wasn't a word. I get that.
I just don't
Molecular is not a word.
understand. Are you? I'm just saying, like, are you nervous? It's been years, brother.
It's been years, but it's every Monday for me. So if you want to know about training, I'm good with that. Okay. You wanna know
Okay,
good
so
training?
we gonna start
good.
asking
Start
training, all
I'm good
training
with that.
shit. But I'm gonna tell you right now,
What?
I asked you some training shit, and you stumble. I'm gonna know it's something else.
Get your weed juice, weedjuice.com. Work on your diet, work on everything you need to work on. Zoe's always talking shit. Pasadena.
Dina Love, you know what we do. Come on. All right. Yes. Live free. Yes.
Bob, you need to use the mic.
I see a L, a I, a V.
It's backwards. Live free.
No, it
Now,
ain't.
Bobby, you too old to strain your mind on shit like this.
Stop looking that hard.
If you want to live free, then make it easy for me to know the recipe.
the hell is
You know?
that?
Yeah, man. Shit.
Scrambling and unscrambling words, nigga. What's the damn message, nigga?
I think it's a conversation starter is what it is, man. He wants you to say,
That's
what
just
is
some
that?
old people shit now.
What?
What you just did is old. And it's fine. It can be old, Bobby. You old. It's all right.
You can bring some teenagers in here right now and show them that hat and they ain't gonna know what the fuck that is.
They're going to know exactly
They
what
would
it
know-
says.
They would know. They would know what it says.
They're going to know exactly what it says, Bobby.
Shit. Backwards my ass.
Bobby reminds me of my foster father.
Your ass is backwards, nigga.
This is how I knew my foster father was old as hell. I hadn't seen him in 20 some odd years. And I finally went back to go see them. And it was a heartbreaking situation because they was all ill. You know, they had, they're out of their home now. They're in a home. You know, the wife, he got a pacemaker. The wife she got a pacemaker. They was just old. And
Well, what's the parallel? I'm not old like
let me,
that.
Bobby,
I got no
I'm
goddamn
gonna give you a
idea.
perfect example, Bobby.
Where's the connection, nigga?
I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Here it
Where's the
comes.
connection?
So my foster father is like, "Hey man, let's go. Let's go get something to eat. We're gonna leave Mama here. You gonna come with me?" I said, "All right." We get in the car. He driving 12 and a half miles an hour. That's one. Then a purple car drove by, and he saw the car. I guess it was candy apple, high gloss, whatever. He said, "What in the hell kind of purple is that?" I said, "This nigga old. I ain't never seen a purple like that." That's what Bobby just did. What is that on your hat?
I can't
They
fucking
let
read.
us- Is that alien? That's alien, ain't it? You got that from the government, didn't you?
He got letters backwards, sideways, and missing.
Bobby, you old.
We'll find out in
And that's
February.
why I be telling you, don't challenge me on the goddamn basketball
We
court.
will find
You
out
old, Bobby.
in February.
That green juice, the way it made you run, I'm gonna make your ass run worse than that green juice, boy. I'm
Right.
telling you that.
Listen to that green juice.
Man, you gonna make me speed this shit up, man.
Hey,
I'm
Bobby,
telling
don't,
you.
hey, Bobby, stop talking shit.
Because
Okay?
you know I'm ready to play now, actually.
Bobby, you wearing Pumas.
And it works. They works just fine. See, I ain't in all that name shit. You know, it's the feet that's in them that matter to you.
Bobby, them feet go.
That's what you need to worry about.
Them feet gonna fall off. I'm telling you now, Bobby. All right, let's stop. Let's stop. All right, let's get to it. So many things are going on in the world, and I know Sarah, without the H, is gonna keep up with me right now. TMZ reports, this is gonna tie into our topic today. Lunta and Star Trek.
What's your name, boy?
Lieutenant Commander Geordie LaForge. Right? Yeah, all that, man. LeVar Burton is shooting down the theory that America's more racist now than ever before, saying the difference now is President Trump's emboldened racists to come out, right? To come out of the woodwork. We got the iconic Reading Rainbow host Thursday at LAX. They caught up with him, and he basically said, you know, he just made it so what was once, you know, supposed to be understood and not said is now said and understood. You understand?
Under the rug no more.
You can't sweep them under the rug anymore. It's out like that. And I tend to agree with LeVar Burton. And I say it began before Donald Trump. I say it began during and before Obama. Because a lot of people will say we live in a post-racial society because America elected their first black president, right? Not understanding that Barack Obama's very presence in the Casablanca, the White House, right? His very presence was a racial affront to a lot of these people who went out and voted for Donald Trump. So let's just be clear. It came out well before Barack Obama was the president. You don't, the president doesn't dictate or doesn't control the barometer of how racist or less racist the country is. Right. I don't believe that. Banks do. Go into a bank, nigga.
Yep. And see what happens.
Ask for some money. Talk to me, Bobby. You've been here longer than all of us.
Well, at some point, we have to look in alternate directions. I saw a feed this morning where Somalians in Minnesota collectively banded together, and they don't go to the banks no more to buy houses. They have created a pool of money that they use for those such purposes. So whether racism is up or down, it's like the stock market. We can't control that no more than we can control the Dow Jones. But what we can control is the outcome of our destiny by not always just being so feudalistic or fatalistic is the word I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. And just really accept the fact that whatever it is, if you're not satisfied with it, do something about it.
I like that. Now, yeah, you needed like 300 words to get to what you wanted to say. But once you got there, that shit was powerful. No, that last piece hit me in the head. Do something about it.
24 hours in a day.
Damn.
Just do it. And the system was
That
built.
shit.
24 hours in a day, man. And if we go back and just, take an observation of how we have spent the last 30 years, it would break your heart. And say, God damn, man, we spent 28 and a half years talking about the problem.
Keep going, Bobby.
About 15 minutes trying to affect change. And so if you really want to get down to what needs to happen is reverse that trend and do more things on a daily basis. I mean, small strokes will fell a big oak, but you got to keep cutting.
But you got to keep cutting. Small strokes.
We'll bring an oak tree down. It might take a spell, but it's coming down. But we want something to happen overnight. We didn't get into this situation overnight. What makes us think we're going to fix it overnight?
Somebody said something in the chat room that I find very interesting. Keston Prescott says, less talking and more walking. Let me explain something to you. We were just talking about it before you guys got here. Bobby understands this really well. I don't know how big jazz fans you guys are, but I'm a huge jazz fan. Miles Davis in particular. And Miles, he in the late 70s, very early 80s, he picked out who was going to dominate, the new wave. He had already picked them out. He said Michael Jackson, Prince, and he also said Cameo. Now, what people don't understand about jazz music is the most complicated form of music on planet Earth. The most intricate. They used to say it was classical music because they thought it was white folk.
Right.
But they forgot Beethoven was a brother too.
Right. Yes.
But jazz is the most complicated, the most refined, and the highest level of music. And people say, well, why doesn't it sell? That's because the average mind can't comprehend it.
I beg to differ.
Wait, Bob, let me make this point. The brother in the chat room says, less talking, more walking. That is the speech of a servant, of a slave, of an uneducated, and listen and this is no disrespect, Keston, a worshiper who works. That is a field hand talking. The masters of industry, the people who run the world, are the most intellectual. They're called the Illuminati for a reason. The enlightened ones, the illuminated ones. What you should say is stop having bullshit conversations. Stop having opinion-based conversations. That's not backed by anything. No information. So when I hear people throw that shit around a lot. Less talk, say less, do more. The doers for this world are servants to the masters who sit on their ass and program those doers' minds. And what do they program their minds with? Thoughts, words that culminate in the deeds that the illuminated ones want to see carried out. Am I right or wrong? Somebody, Bobby?
I'll agree with the basis, but the thing is, when you talk about intellectual property, it is a thought, but it started out as something in your mind's eye. You didn't see it. You had to conceptualize it in your head. And that's not always like common sense ain't really that common. Because I've seen people sit around and analyze and theorize and all that and don't do shit. But I've seen people just step back and they'll see something in their mind and then they'll generate the forces within to produce something. Like, there wasn't always chairs. There wasn't always tables. There wasn't always cars. It started in a person's mind. And then sometimes it comes down to how much guts you got. One thing about Miles Davis.
Like this. Go ahead.
Miles Davis played very few notes. Mm-hmm. But he would take one note and capture your imagination, your heart, your spirit.
Yes.
The album he did in last year was the 50th anniversary, or was it the 60th anniversary?
Kind of Blue?
Kind of Blue, the highest selling jazz album ever. He done sold more copies of Kind of Blue since he died than he did while he was alive.
Yeah, that's jazz music's thriller.
It has staying power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And the parallel with his look at Michael Jackson and Cameo and Prince was musicianship. That's mastery.
Mm-hmm.
That's mastery. That's something that you practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. So I'm not challenging your point. I'm just embellishing it by saying it's a combination of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'll bring about
Yeah,
change.
and that's what I was gonna say about homie's comment. It's a balance. So I don't think he was saying walk without knowledge. He was just saying that, but for so long, all people have been doing is just crying and screaming and damn, they look at what they done to us. Look at what they done to us. Damn, they done, they hurting us. They done. I mean, it's like, how long are you gonna keep screaming that before you actually start putting the footwork in, figuring out what moves to make? That's what he's talking about. Excuse me. That's what he's talking about by doing the walk. Because, you know, if you understand how this system, of course, created, you were not meant to get ahead of the system. They wanted to keep you out of it. And it's only because they were forced to bring you in the system. They was like, fuck, we gotta let these niggas in here now. All right, well, we can't let them in on the same level. So we'll create 2 different citizenships and throw these niggas under one citizenship. And because you are under a second-class citizenship, you were never meant to be on the same equal level as Caucasian people. But you've been tricked into thinking that the whole Constitution is meant for you, and it's not.
Talk in the mic, Kev.
Nigga, do you see the fucking mic right here,
The
nigga?
mic ain't working on for you.
Nigga,
You gotta pull that mic close to your mouth, boy. I know you don't want to do it.
mic right here,
Put
nigga.
that mic close to your mouth.
Motherfucking mic right here, nigga. Shit.
It's a new year, can't follow directions.
Motherfucking mic, it ain't going in my mouth, nigga. Fuck out of here.
Put the mirror
Now,
down.
back on the shit, nigga.
What the fuck?
You weren't meant to get ahead in the Caucasian system. However, the reason that is because they took this system from you. And so they understand if they let you get ahead, and also they understand that when they let you in the system, you were doing better than them, meaning by far information and education. You were the workers. You knew how to do everything. So to put you on an even keel in their system, eventually you would take it over. So they had to start you down at a lower pace and then keep you there because they understand who you were and how you would be able to elevate within their system. So you looking to get ahead that way is not going to do it. You need to find out the information that you need, how they're getting ahead, and use the information. That's the walking homeboy is talking about. What are they doing in order to get ahead and stay ahead? Get that information and do that shit.
If I may.
I love it.
One more quick example.
One more quick example, and then Timmy Tight Top.
The first book that I completed was called Let's Go to Work, The Millionaire Chronicles of Leon T. Garr. Mr. Garr died at 102 years old. He should have been out of here at 3 years old. Long story short, the man had a 3rd grade education. And I said, Mr. Garr, how did you become a millionaire? He said, Bobby, I made $1 million before I could spell a million. Because it wasn't about formal education. It's really just breaking things down to the simplest form. Supply and demand. Filling needs. He came into California in the 40s when they would not loan black people money. And because he had saved his money and kept his money, he was able to buy property and then sell it to folks on a note for 30 years. And he was still collecting mortgage money to the day he died. So the point I'm making is, look at things squarely. Find a need and fill it.
Jeff? Yes. You don't have a mic.
You do now. I do now. Yes.
Okay. So before I throw it to Timmy Tight Top and tell you and kind of frame up what we're talking about today.
Sure.
It's a new year.
Yes.
But you're still the same you.
Yeah.
Actually,
I have no allegiance to the Gregorian calendar whatsoever.
I'm just trying to understand, like.
But what about the clock?
I live on a plane outside of time. My wisdom is outside of time.
Time is relative.
Time, yeah. What's a long time? Hold your breath or wait for a baby to be born?
Do I have to pull out? Do I have to pull out the big joker?
What's
I
that?
got to get the big joker involved, don't I?
No, let's not do that.
Do I got
What
to
does
pull
that
out the big joker?
Well, it's not much she can do on Monday because this is.
But when I pull out the big
gotta
joker
get my
and she
kids.
does this here, when you get that tug on that inner elbow piece, like, come here, let me holler at you.
It usually starts with honey. Now, yes.
I got to get the big joker involved.
Okay. Okay, I thought I was looking at chocolate thighs and go-go boots again, but now it's just go-go boots, but your hand was where your thigh is. I thought that was your thigh meat.
What kind
Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's let's get past all
Oh,
of
shit, who the hell is that? Okay, so where are we?
Hey,
Derailed with
Timmy
my
Tight Top
foolishness.
had a point. We're talking about something,
excuse me.
our topic, and I'm gonna frame it up right after his point.
I don't know if are you gonna talk about football today? Anything about black coaches getting hired?
You can go right there.
Okay,
Make
so
your point, bro.
I'm gonna make a point. Jimmy the Greek said a long time ago that black coaches will never be in the NFL because if you give black coaches the job, then what white people gonna do? It's true. Black people have taken over sports, period, and that's what people can understand. Black people have taken over sports, so white people have very little to do in sports. So if you take away the coaching jobs for the white people, then what are they gonna do? So this is the power that we have, and we have all this power. We need to seize the power and understand all the knowledge that we have out here, and we need to open businesses, support other black businesses and stuff. And if we want to get ahead, it's about supporting others, you know.
So remember this, because you bring up a good point. For white people, leadership is a stereotype.
They're not really good. They're not. They're,
Yeah, I
they're-
know.
Gonna hit me right in the face with that.
I mean, it does this. But I'm just saying,
Wow.
it's a stereotype for them.
Right.
Even if they're not actually capable.
That's unimportant.
That don't mean shit. I don't have to be proficient. Look at Donald Trump. Look at George W. Bush. As if we could have a white president worse than him.
Note the Peter principle.
Do you get what I'm saying? So again, you have to remember, all the way down to sports, that quarterback position, they've been holding on to it for so goddamn long.
they have to.
They've been, even though the black quarterbacks been coming, we saw them diss Charlie Ward. We saw them diss a lot of them that could actually play that position, right?
Hail Doug.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to understand, for them, those positions represent white masculinity by default. Leadership is a white male stereotype. So we sitting here thinking, oh, you have to be smart. You have to be skilled. You have to have ingenuity. You have to have insight and all this. No, you have to be white. You have to fit a role. You get what I'm saying? It's hard for them to see Superman as a nigga. Even though the sun give him power, that's Africa and that's Ra and all that. No. This is Kal-El. this white motherfucker we said was Superman. Do you get what I'm saying? By default, leadership for white males, right, is a stereotype. And we have to remember that. Regardless, remember what they did to Ty Willingham? Notre Dame and Stanford. All he did was win at both places.
And he ain't coached since.
And he ain't coached since.
He can't even get another job.
Don't
All
worry,
white
we
dudes
setting
always
this
get
up
another
for you.
job.
You just got here and you're already being pushy. All right. So now, let's break down today's topic because it ties into all of this. And I thought that was beautiful. I can't wait to get everybody's opinion on this because you're going to be able to tie it all in together. Today's topic, a deeper look at colorblind logic. Yeah. I know your ass colorblind when it comes to white girl. You like that that pink toe, don't you, Timmy Jack? You like them pink toes, don't you, boy? You like them little Victoria's Secret models you can just pick up and throw around like a...
You like raisins in his potato salad.
My mother's black, by the way. I just want to let you know.
My mama black too. I think everybody mama here black.
So that's the only point I'm going to make.
Okay, good. I love it. I
I'm
love
not
it.
quite sure why you made that one.
Defend yourself, little pinky toe lover.
I don't know. I don't know if we were. I don't think we were. We in the dark with Hassan's mother?
No, we're not in.
We were not in the.
All right, so here we go. We're broadcasting live from Vibe Free TV. Today's topic, a deeper look at colorblind logic. Questions. What does it mean to say that race is a social construct? Kev, Timmy Tight Top, Bobby, and Jeff, I'm going to need answers for that. How does color blindness as a mentality contribute to racial inequality. Is colorblindness letting white folk off the hook for being culpable and responsible for the shit they've done to the world? Is that a way out? I love everyone. I'll kill everyone.
Yeah, if I don't see color, I don't have to respect it.
Ooh, I don't have to respect culture, right? True or false? The logic of being colorblind allows us to ignore white privilege as much as it does black social disenfranchisement and failure. Us meaning just people in general. Most white people don't know nothing about black disenfranchisement and social failure. You can't tell them today. They'll be like, well, listen, Timmy went to school with a black man, and he just took another road, Timmy.
It's about choices.
It's about choices. He could have done better for himself. I'm just asking now. True or false? In trying to prevent discrimination and prejudice, many companies adopt a strategy of colorblindness, actively trying to ignore racial differences when enacting policies and making organizational decisions, such as, Sarah, don't bring that big, nappy, tree-like, that big branch full of hair and this natural shit you got. You better press that shit so I can feel better about myself. Your hair is offensive. Your hair about to fight me. I don't... Do you understand what I'm saying?
Press that shit so I can feel
Your hair about to fight me.
Your hair about to... Nigga.
Your hair about to fight me.
I'm just saying. In what ways does colorblindness hide the truth about history and the origins of mankind?
Your afro is threatening me.
Your afro is very aggressive. It's very. How does racial categories from the U.S. Census over the years demonstrate that race is a social construct? Because look, we all grew up in a time where we knew very well who the fuck we are.
Who and what was
and who was over there, and who was fucking up, and who we needed to get the fuck away from. We knew off rip.
I got to get up in the morning and go to that white man's job.
Now, these kids today are being bamboozled and hamboozled, maybe even spamboozled. That's a new term, spamboozled, yes, right?
That's a t-shirt.
They being spamboozled with all types of bullshit, right? About we all love each other. Obama was president. We are in a post-racial society. Yet, the tools they use to keep us oppressed, the dollar, people act like, let's not, come on now. The economy, redlining, banking, housing, all this shit. Education. There's a gap everywhere. Technology, technology gap, education gap, money gap, wealth gap. Come on now, lineage. Talk to us. What's going on, Bobby? Colorblind. Talk to me, Bobby. I got to start with Bobby.
If you had a choice of colors, which one would you choose, my brother? If there was no day or night, which would you prefer to be right? That's what color meant then. That's what color means now. And what we do is attach personal identifications to color. Because all hues are all hues. But inside that person, it can be a drastic difference. In other words, I know some very fair-skinned people that are in their conscience far blacker than people that are purple black.
Shit. Elijah Muhammad.
Great example.
Minister Farrakhan.
Great example.
Malcolm X.
Great example.
Huey P. Newton.
So when you get down to it, we get caught up in the minutia of it all. At the end of the day, it's right and wrong. It's wrong to determine how you feel about somebody based on the color of their skin. Especially if you're in a dominant situation, it's really favorable. If you're in the inferior situation, it becomes a lifelong challenge to fight for your rights. But if you're in that back seat, You still have breath. You got 24 hours in your day. If you're not satisfied with your condition, then it's up to you to do something about it. Because if I was white, I wouldn't be worried about you niggas either. I mean, life is
Keep
complicated.
going, Bobby.
Life is hard enough already, man. Why should I give a fuck about somebody that I done beat down and kept down because they never tried to get up? And then when they tried to get up,
Bobby.
here's what I mean by that.
Please clarify.
I hear people all the time say, well, when we try to get up, they push us back down. What are they supposed to do? Yes.
You in the fight, nigga.
Right.
I don't know why you expected to change.
That's how fighting go.
Man, the most important fight in my life, I lost. I lost the fight. And I realized, damn, man, if I don't win this next one, man, this is going to become a routine and a habit, you see?
Wow.
So you just got to keep fighting, man.
Did you hear what he said? If I don't win this next one, this about to become a routine and a habit. Jeff, give Jeff the mic. And speaking to the mic, guys, remember that.
Let's first say both winning and losing represent a series of habits. To kind of tie this back into something I was itching to say about the NFL. The only people truly hung up on being black and that being a disadvantage is black people. Nobody else is. Everybody else is crystal clear. Everyone else is crystal clear. These niggas are incredible. Everybody else.
Keep going. I see you.
These niggas are unfucking believable.
These niggas are amazing.
Everything you let them close to, they make us look stupid at.
Jesus, the seasonings that they use.
Yes. So what we got to do is we got to keep these niggas fighting to be coaches.
Keep going.
Do you really believe Jerry Jones gives a fuck about who coaches them 22 monkeys down there? He doesn't, because his checks are the same. Why, oh why, in the words of Lolly, played by Ernie Hudson in the movie Sugar Hill, when asked about Wesley Snipes' character, could somebody please tell me why we are kissing this boy's ass? Could someone please tell me why it is that we continually, consistently fight to be in the club of the substandard? It's like everybody at the house fighting to sit at the little kids' table at Thanksgiving.
I want to sit there.
Right. You done bought the turkey. This is your fucking house. This house is nothing without you. But you fighting to sit at the little kids' table? What the fuck is wrong with you? Unless and until black people see their own excellence and see it as connected. Black excellence is not singular. It is connected. It is about the soul. It is about community. We are not this whole marriage construct. That ain't you. This you got yours, I got mine. That ain't you. That's why the shit don't work for you. Why do black men cheat more? Because black men ain't supposed to be doing this. This some white man shit. This house bond shit. This shit ain't for us. But y'all so fucking scared to leave Nigger Island.
But see, Nigger Island.
They're fucking paranoid to leave Nigger Island.
The island of Dr. Negro.
Yes.
Not Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
The island of Dr. Negro. Yes, we're just afraid. We're so afraid that we are enough. Cat Williams, say what you want to about Cat Williams, but he proves that we are enough. Tariq Nasheed proves that we are enough. Dr. Boyce Watkins proves that we are enough. Once we figure that out and mean it, we won't have all these problems.
Now, let me hit you with this. Oh, Kev, go ahead.
Yeah, so, the whole color of race thing and it being a social construct, this is why I made this documentary, The Kung Fu of Law, because you guys have to learn and understand what your position is in this whole game. So this whole black color thing, it goes back to the Bacon's Rebellion in 1676 when Caucasian servants, indentured servants, and melanated indentured servants, they got together and took over Jamestown for about 10 months. When the elite, they called the bourgeois, or the bourgeoisie, that was the elite and the noble class. When they saw that the brothers and the Caucasians got together, they said, oh, we can't have this, because ultimately it's about class. And so it's the elite, it's the people with the money versus the people with no money. So they had to institute something to break brothers up. So this is where you get white privilege. This started to filter in into society. And so they created something called white privilege and started putting it around towns and cities, and started to distinguish between the Caucasian people and the melanated people. So it took about 70 years. After 70 years of seeing this, because people didn't take to it right away, because they were calling themselves by their country, Englishmen and Dutchmen, and Frenchmen. And so they were like, what is this white thing? And so after about 70 years of seeing this for so long, the kids and people who had grown up in this society and been indoctrinated into it, they took to the term white and started to call themselves white. But how you got misplaced was in the 1790 census, because they started to take Aboriginals who were here already, and most of you who were here when they got here. In order to take the land, they had to reclassify you in the census, which didn't do anything for you in your culture, but in their culture, it freed up the land. So they started to take Aboriginals and call them mulattoes and Africans of pure African blood. And in this term, because in their laws, it took away your rights in their laws, because they already saw that they were going to have to start integrating the two. So this is where you get the whole social construct going. The melanated people are the only ones to export color, because the Moors never saw themselves as colored. Moor was called, well, we were called Moor by other people. Dark, because other people saw us as dark, but Moors, they were different shades of Moors. They differentiated themselves by the clan, their bloodline. And so when you get this whole, now everybody else in the world, you see melanated people calling themselves black, which literally in law means nothing. So when you get this whole social construct of color, in law, color means the semblance without the substance. It means you are absolutely not real. It says that in the law book.
Color of law.
Yeah, color of law. It means the law that looks like it's real, but it ain't. So when you start calling yourself by this color, which it only affects you, because white people or Caucasian people calling themselves white means nothing, because they run everything. So it doesn't matter if they call themselves by a fucking color. Right. They can call themselves color all day. You, though, when you go inside their system, calling yourselves by a social construct they created, which means nothing, but you don't know that because you don't know the law, you literally degrade yourself from the jump, right from the word.
Now, what's really cold about what you just said? Color is an illusion.
Yes.
But I'm going to create a whole fucking web series based on this illusion.
Right.
So I can keep you on the hamster wheel mentally thinking you get a biracial kid.
Right.
I'm biracial. I'm both.
Right.
What
the fuck is that?
You get, right? You're right. So they got you on this hamster wheel of a social construct that they created. This goes back to the whole point. The real currency in your life is you being the gatekeeper of your consciousness. Yep. If a motherfucker got the key to your consciousness,
you ain't
you're
shit
an
unless I say so.
automaton. You're a robot.
Yep. You ain't shit unless I tell you shit.
Now this is what I'm gonna tell you are. You's a quadroon.
Right. You octoroon.
And you over there, you're an octoroon.
What the fuck
You look like this cookie I love. You a macaroon.
You a macaroon.
You're a macaroon, nigga. You look like you got a little
like
coconut on you, boy.
You a macaroon.
That's
hilarious.
But do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Again, the power is in your ability to create authentic content about who you are from within.
Right.
Now, if I can flip it, because I know what the fuck you are.
Yes.
Because I came to that goddamn continent. I've seen you all over the motherfucking world, and everywhere I saw your ass, I was like, that's false doom.
Man.
When's the last time you seen Conan?
Man, about a few months ago.
Motherfucking James Earl
Yeah,
Jones
man, the Naga.
is playing a serpent
The
king.
Naga. He is the Naga.
Come, child. Come.
That.
That was power. I watched that shit the other day. That was a serpent king.
Man.
That was a Naga. But again, the most reviled word ever is nigger. Who's saying it?
Yes.
How is the nigga, the motherfucker
Yes.
that lubed your ass so well,
God damn. Did
and
break down?
and
Is that
and
ass?
the
waxed
motherfucker
on-
was
he
like he
waxed
was at
on
Earl Shive on it. Cornhole
Miyagi,
you so
nigga.
well. How does he get to say how that word is bad to you when he's the one doing the cornholing?
Because
You know,
he
this
can't
is
say
a
it.
very evil term.
Right.
It's the most reviled term of all, but don't use any of our words
Yes.
in slang.
Nothing.
Listen, they got Michael Jackson for saying Jew.
Yep.
As soon as they said, I don't give a fuck how
They
I don't
do.
give a fuck how big you are, Michael.
Man.
You better
The
reverse that shit.
ADL will be on you quick. and real quick, how you talking about you the gatekeeper of the gatekeeper of your consciousness? Everybody need to go look up that Dred Scott case and read it with the understanding of the judge is not telling Dred Scott that you're less than. What he's saying is the status of what you call yourself, of African descended from African slaves, is nothing in our system. Leave this motherfucker, come back in here, call yourself an Aboriginal, a Native American, and you can get shit. And just to show you the example of who did that, the people who started Black Wall Street, they went in under Dawes Rolls, under Aboriginals, and that's how they got the land to build Black Wall Street. They were Native Americans. They went in under as Native Americans. So that's what I'm talking. The gateway to your consciousness. The system builds your status, and whatever you call yourself, you literally place yourself in that hole right from the jump, based on whatever they call you. It's up to you to define yourself and tell them.
Now look, Kev, that's the whole purpose of this show. These motherfuckers are authoring the chaos. They're authoring the solution. They're authoring happiness. They're authoring success. They're authoring everything.
Everything.
So look at what's happening right now in your life. You get kids who grow up culturally different than you did because they decide to change the cultural or social narrative, right? So they say, you know what? Little girls and little boys ain't little girls and little boys no more. We just changed that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the people who have children now that are raising these children up in the way that we were taught are now looked at as, man, what the fuck is my dad talking about? This shit is out here wild right now. This is different, right? So now that creates a disconnect in the home if the bond and the power of the parents aren't, strong enough, right? So again, all these different narratives, feminism, right? Colorblindness. How you gonna be colorblind without reconciling and apologizing and paying for shit? I always take
Because that allows me to not reconcile and pay for shit.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly. That's the whole point of it.
If I don't see color,
Right.
then I don't see what my ancestors did.
I don't have to acknowledge none of that shit. I don't see color. I love black women.
Yeah.
But on that, this is the thing. Anywhere in the world, where can you go and receive stolen goods knowingly and be able to keep them and not go to jail for an accessory?
The Smithsonian Museum.
But
That's where you go.
The Vatican.
The Vatican. That's where
We
you
gonna
go.
name
The
some
Vatican is its own country,
Yeah,
though.
the Vatican.
The Vatican is its own country. What I'm talking about.
Jesus said we can come get this shit.
Right.
I'm talking about when somebody charges you for stealing their shit. But this is where they come, where they say, well, I didn't do it. I'm not the one who did slavery. I never stole your land. I never did this and that. Oh, but you're going to reap the benefits of what your ancestors did.
Are you
Knowingly,
telling me-
you're receiving stolen goods?
Are you-
And not,
All right, so what you basically saying then, as I stand here, bloody, barefoot, beaten, one eye closed, in front of my house as you sip lemonade with your feet up on the porch of it that you don't owe me my house because your great granddaddy stole it.
Right. Exactly.
That's basically what you're saying.
I didn't steal nothing.
I didn't steal nothing.
I ain't no thief.
Now, you niggas don't get off of my property
Exactly.
that I didn't
Right,
steal.
get off of my property
That I didn't steal.
that my granddaddy stole from you. Stole from
That's
your
what
people.
cracks me up about, yes, I please God, pretty pleased with sugar on top. Can there be frat brothers and sorority sisters in the chat room right now? When you get a chance, YouTube John Henrik Clark fraternities.
Oh yeah, I see.
You don't get to pick and choose what of John Henrik Clark's genius is genius. It's all genius. And when he says, since all Greek architecture, all Greek mythology, all Greek knowledge was stolen from us, how then do you call yourself an alpha, a Q?
Right.
What you are basically doing is bragging about being able to ride in a car that was stolen from you.
Yes.
Please tell me how it's different. And you know what they get you with? All they get you with is, well, I don't know about that, but look at all the good stuff we do. You mean to tell me you niggas can't do good stuff without wearing red and white or purple and gold? And you can't. You have to wear these colors. You have to use these symbols to work together. Yeah. That's what you're telling me. That there's no other way. I disagree.
Well, and that was interesting because I don't know if it was on topic or not, but it's right in the broader conversation. You know, but listen to this. African Americans are much more likely to be located near toxic waste dumps than white communities.
Oh yeah.
What does this tell you about race in America? See, here's the thing. Tim Wise talks about it. A lot of other motherfuckers talk about it. White people ain't gonna give up being white, even though they know being white is as real as Jesus. Right. They know that. Yeah. They know Jesus ain't real. They know that. But they need their version of Jesus, and white people got their version of race, which is supposed to substitute for culture. Yep. See, we have a culture, and it has always been ours, and they have always coveted it, and they have always found ways to rewrite it, refreak it, change it up, so they could confuse your ass about it. Yep. But when you got sick and Big Mama shoved your mouth full of honey and berries and all types of other shit,
hot liquor and cornbread,
had some motherfucking what's those little fish in the can?
The sardines around.
Had the sardine juice around your neck.
Sardine juice.
There goes Sister Abernathy.
Sister Flossie Abernathy.
Do you understand what I'm saying? We had a culture, and we were a people where we didn't necessarily, like Kevin said, we didn't have to be colorblind. See, colorblind is really culture blind. Yes. And culture is the repository of information that your ancestors left for you. Bobby?
Words are something else. Colorblind. Let's look at that very closely. The blind part in particular. Blind? If you blind, then you can't see. I'm amazed at how we use words without really stopping and saying, okay, what does that really mean, colorblind? Mm-hmm. That means to me that you can't see.
Jeff, Bobby, do y'all remember this term? Color conscious.
Now that has a different resonance to it.
I remember down south, my mama said this shit. Oh, he color conscious. She color conscious.
Color struck, you know.
Yeah, I heard color struck. My mama used to say this shit color conscious. Yeah. I am aware that I don't want a dark nigga.
Right. I don't want a dark nigga.
Right.
My father was dark. When I say dark, pull up this old picture of Bigfoot who starred with Steve Austin. This is how my father looked.
Bigfoot on the $6 million man.
I swear to God, when I was a kid,
Google Bigfoot
$6
$6
million
million
man.
You see this
Bigfoot,
motherfucker.
yeah.
When I was a kid, I thought this motherfucker was my father. I seen my father a couple of times. Motherfucker looked like a mix between Barry White and Bigfoot from. When I saw this motherfucker, I said, "Oh shit, there go my daddy."
Your mama met him when she was out hunting.
But my mother would tell me shit. She would tell me shit that would. There that motherfucker is.
Yep.
Daddy!
I just watched this episode. Though.
No, that's the second
funny
one.
shit.
That ain't the first one.
Wait a minute.
Andre the Giant. That's the second one.
Wait a minute, nigga. That look kind of like you.
No. But
ABC owe you some resentment.
Hey, Bigfoot got his $6 million ass though.
no, listen to me now, cause there that motherfucker is. That's Andre the Giant. I'd be like, there go my dad. There go my father, nigga. In the face, right there, nigga. The hair. Oh, I said, oh shit. My mother got with Bigfoot, nigga. But what's crazy is
Why is this hair growing on my back?
I had conversations with my mother when she was ill, when she was getting ready to transition. And the shit just be shocking when you hear shit like there ain't no rhyme or reason or nothing.
And it just come out.
God must be involved for your life because these niggas didn't have no plan. You look at your parents and then you think these motherfuckers knew what these niggas don't know.
Ain't no shit.
We need a vehicle. We sending this 7th level sage, old soul through. Send him through her. Get him through them niggas.
Right.
I asked my mother, I said, I was born 10 months after my other brother. Did y'all niggas need another kid?
Right.
What was the purpose?
He
Shit,
jumped
let
right
the
back on
stitches
it
heal.
immediately.
Jesus Christ.
And what was crazy, her answer, and my mother was Aries, and her father was Aries. It's weird. My mother was an Aries, her father was Aries, her mother was Gemini, I'm Gemini. This shit just, it was
hilarious.
weird. Anyway, the answer socked me in the head, but I had to take it. Cause I'm me, I'm like, well, I'm an exceptional motherfucker. Well, goddamn.
Well, what was
No
that?
rhyme or reason. You niggas out here rushing and rouletting. I said, Mom, why? What was the purpose? She said, your father said he wanted another little red bone, light skinned baby, so we did it. And then the nigga left.
Right.
Now that I got two.
What? He went out there to play hoop with Bobby. Motherfucker went to play hoop with Bobby and never came back.
Where at, Bobby?
Bobby,
Where at?
you see my father, nigga. Where you at, nigga?
He joined the rest of the Rolling Stones.
God damn.
But it's really another variable in this. We're all accidents of birth.
Keep
Let's
going,
just
Bobby.
let's just
Talk about
accept
Bobby.
that, man. I mean, there are people who want babies that'll never have them. There are people that don't want children that woke up
Right.
on birth control and everything, still end up having a baby. So, at some point, since you're here, make the best of it, man.
Right.
Because there's enough excuses. A good friend of mine, Antoine Fisher, he got every excuse to be one of the most despicable human beings ever born. Instead, he chose consciously to go out into this world after being born in prison, and have one of the most accomplished lives of anybody that's been through this circle of life.
Look at that. According to one study, black defendants on trial for murder in Pennsylvania were 40% more likely to receive death penalties than white convicted criminals of similar crime. What does this indicate? Again, Bobby is bringing up something that's driving this conversation. Yes, you are in the toilet stool of white America and white supremacy. You have to avoid this shit that's constantly raining down on you. How do you do it? The first thing you got to do is what we've been saying since 2012. You got to break up with their narratives. Colorblindness is a narrative that they're pushing to keep you confused.
Free your
Feminism
mind.
is a narrative. What else? Listen. Oh, black people are not capable of being quarterbacks. If they didn't want that out there, it wouldn't be out there. But you don't know that the media is a tool. It's a game. This is how I elicit a particular type of response. And while you're responding to that, I'm over here tinkering with some more shit to keep you confused. Yep. Do you understand that?
When they introduced the whole color thing, it was to depower you. But then you took to it so hardcore, and then they couldn't use it. They couldn't use the word black. And also the reason that the law calls color as the semblance without the substance is because of science. It recognizes science, and that whenever you look at an object, you don't see the color in that object. It's reflecting the color of the light spectrum. So that object is not that color, it's only reflecting it. So that's why in the law it says the semblance, meaning it looks like it, but without the substance. It's not there. So that whole color game was a construct to take your power away. But then when you started to attach yourself to it, and then say, well, why I'm black, and I'm proud, I'm doing this and that. So then
blackity black.
Exactly. And then you told them that they couldn't use the word, and then that really pissed them off because they hate
pissed them off, or they was on some Mr. Burns. Excellent. Like they took the bait.
What I mean
we
is,
gave them the word and they took the bait.
Right.
But gotcha.
Probably the elite.
Gotcha, bitch.
You're probably the elite, but the regular white motherfucker, they hate when you call your.
We're not talking about them.
Right. But
fuck them.
At the time.
They fuck them.
No, they getting fucked right now. Too.
Yeah, they getting fucked with us. They don't give a fuck about them either.
They getting fucked with us.
Yeah, they ain't figured it out. The top of the branches
is this Mr. These niggas have taken yes, you're taking the bait. Absolutely.
Exactly. And this is what I'm trying to push. Slavery was an institution. So those who came out of slavery and survived, and they even say the descendants of those, still have an institutionalized, conditioned mind because of that. Well, prison is an institution. And those who have been in prison for long stretches of time, hell, for even short stretches of time, have been institutionalized by the environment of prison. If slaves' minds can be institutionalized, and the descendants of slaves through generational curses, minds can be institutionalized by that institution, so can your mind be by the institution called education. Because if you're not in control of the content that the professor is teaching, your mind is just pliable styrofoam for this shit to fit in neatly. Do you understand? Do you see? Colorblind. We live in a colorblind society. This is why a woman named Lonnie Love can say what she says about black men being the most undateable.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you come to that conclusion without saying, well, what made him the most undateable? How did he arrive there and we somehow are still yet above him?
That motherfucker on your right, that's how.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you see what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to the sister, because I'm simply saying, how can you arrive at any conclusion, logical conclusion, intellectual conclusion, without first experimenting and examining the environment that you and the brothers who have mistreated you are from? Who built this place we live in?
Right.
Even a goddamn gecko lizard will get in that damn aquarium and move his head back and forth and walk around and look under the rock and check shit the fuck out. Okay, this is what I'm working with. This shit right here. Right. Do you understand? How come we just arrive at an idea that somebody gave us without first saying, who the fuck is the somebody handing out free ideas?
Right.
And why are you giving out free ideas? We skeptical of free shots.
Why does Lonnie Love in that dress look like you was trying to bake salmon and you ran out of foil? So you're trying to put as much salmon in this foil as I possibly can.
I'll have the salmon foil. Come on. Jeff, fuck.
I'm sorry.
We weren't trying to do that right now.
I'm sorry. Well, you put the damn picture up, and that's what I thought.
And on that, based on that, you guys also should be studying Caucasian people like they study you. And I don't mean watching, sitcoms and that type of shit. I mean, you need to study them, watch their lectures, watch, how they live their lives, because they do that same shit to you. I mean, they down to a science where they have classes and shit where they break your culture down, and then they take bits and pieces of it, go back inside their shit and use it, and then they blow the fuck up just using a little bit of
I learned this
nigga
in
culture.
my African
So y'all need
studies
to go and do
class.
that same. It's called, and again in the military, Jeff knows this is reconnaissance. You got to go study your enemy in order to find out how to proceed on your mission, on your attack. So that's the same thing they're doing. They've been doing it on you for hundreds of years. You
And
have
they
done none of
gotta
it.
do it.
Yes.
Listen. There are white people sitting, let's do it. There's white people sitting around right now. We can't have a Negro Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
this
Negro
is a
Superman.
meeting.
They wanted Anthony B.
this-
Jordan. They wanted Michael B. Jordan to be
these-
Superman. They said
these
that too.
are
No, I'm talking about
official
in real life.
meetings.
In real life, like not a movie. Yeah, listen.
We gotta draw the line somewhere. I mean, shit.
We simply cannot have a Negro avatar. If that nigga comes back, he'll fuck
Yes.
everything up.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Do you understand?
Yep.
Bobby?
Breaking news. Dianne Feinstein just said on the subject of reparations, some things are just better left alone.
She's right.
How so?
She is so
No. She's not right. But I hear
Oh
Jeff's
my
opinion.
God.
Here comes Jeff's opinion.
She
She's
is
not right.
absolutely right to say that in the theater she says it in to the people she's speaking
Here
to.
we go. See,
She
Jeff-
goes,
This is
look at here.
Here, turn off Jeff's mic. Because this is what he does.
Shut the fuck up.
This is what Jeff does. He will agree, disagree. She's right. No, she's not. Yes, she is. No, she's not. Yes, she is. Then say your
To the people she's speaking to. Okay? When I say,
Jeff is hilarious.
orange slices and croutons don't go in no greens, you know who I'm right to? The people who don't put orange slices and croutons in greens.
So Jeff, you said she's speaking to her
She
audience.
is, nigga, who you think she's speaking to?
There you
Us?
go. No, she
She's
definitely
no,
not.
she's not. No, she isn't, Uncle Bobby. That's the disconnect right there. When you hear words like that and you think they're aimed at you. No, they're not.
There you go.
Those words are not for you. That's like that. It's the same shit.
How did she get elected all this?
No, I'm not.
How? She got elected in a system that has nothing to do with you.
You voted for her?
My vote. The people who voted for her
They look like her.
have nothing. They might as well have stayed at home. If they'd have stayed at home, let me put it to you this way: the votes, all of them, put all the votes together that black people have ever voted for, any office from president down to dog catcher, or excuse me, from president up to dog catcher. Add up all them votes. Now take them all out of the equation. And
No,
where does
not.
that put us? Not a fucking place different than we are right now. Still getting shot in the street, still needing jobs, still waiting on somebody else to do shit for us. Unless and until the black man stands up outside of this system, the way the Vietnamese do, the way the Arabs do, the way the Jews make a system and stand up outside of it.
Yeah.
Black people can't find no way to stand up unless it's in this paradigm. They cannot look at each other and go, why the fuck are we on this football field? They can't look at each other and go, why the fuck did we all come to work today? They can't look at each other and go, why the fuck are we in this church worshiping a God that don't look like us? Oh, whoops, they painted him brown. Footnote, Jesus is black the way the Hulk is green. Unless we can stand up outside of this, it doesn't matter what Feinstein says. But because you think that they are talking to you, you go, I can't believe she said that shit. I can. She's out. She is about genetic survival. She is about keeping her people on top. Why would she say, you know what? Let's look at a number that if we really focus on, we owe black people the rest of the money we don't even really got. Why the fuck would she say something like that? Why would she say, if you really look at this acreage, we owe niggas Nebraska, Wyoming, and Kentucky?
No, America.
No.
All of it.
All of it. All of it.
I'm concerned because there's nothing wrong. No, I'm not.
Right.
Look,
Living in America.
let me
In concert with, go ahead.
I just wanted to address what she said. When you got politicians and things, when they dance around the reparations thing, it's because there are certain laws in place that most people don't understand. And so melanated people, you're looking for a system that was never created for you to save you when you don't understand the system at all. Reparations, as you guys want it, is illegal. The
wait a
Supreme
minute.
Court has already ruled against it.
So?
They just want-
Please help me with that.
Well, let him
So,
finish his point,
that-
and then back to you, Bobby.
So what I'm telling you is, the Supreme Court, when it rules on something, that's law. That makes it law, and it states that you can't create legislation based on racial specific programs. It said that based off generalization of racial specific programs, which is why they came out with the HR thing to do a study on racism, because they have to figure out what the hell racism was about, because they have to give it specifically to people who were specifically affected by racism, like meaning by the government as well. So meaning if your ancestor directly was affected by slavery and racism, then you're liable for reparations. However, you can't come and generalize and just say, just because I'm black, somewhere down the line, my ancestor may have been a slave, and you got to give me reparations. That's against the law. They've already ruled against that in two different ways. They won't tell you that though, which is why reparations has never got off the ground, because it's illegal, as presently reparations is now. As you as Aboriginals, what they don't tell you is that they're holding 600 million acres of land for you. 600 million acres of land just sitting there waiting on your ass to come and get it. Just like,
Who
it's
was
just
the
sitting
lady
right here.
that?
And they ain't gonna tell you that, but it's
Hey,
600 million acres of land. Like, hey,
Wasn't
nigga, y'all
there
want
a
that?
lady down in the South that they gave a bunch?
Yeah,
Clinton gave it to her. What was that lady's
Oh
name?
man,
Well, laws are made to be changed.
Yes.
Roe versus Wade. There was a time when abortions were illegal. So that's all a fluid situation.
no, Roe versus Wade
Fuck
just
you
gave
mean?
it just gave it back to the states. It
Now,
just
what
said
I'm
the states
saying
would
though is
could
this:
decide. That's all.
the Supreme Court rules every day on stuff, and then they have what they call an appeal, or they'll rewrite the rules and change the rule based upon the momentum and the people that are active and consistent in their advocacy. I guess what I'm really getting back to is reparations go to the people. They might not even call it reparation. They'll call it something else. What they call it when they gave them goddamn intern Japanese all that money?
But
That was
they were able, the reason they got it was because they were directly affected by the atrocities from the government. Do you see? Directly. The law is you have to directly be
finish.
affected by the government, atrocities by the government, or a descendant of someone who's directly affected, or you don't get no money.
Okay, then Jeff has a point.
What is corporate welfare then?
Wait, you got to speak on the mic though when you speak.
Corporations, just recently, through executive order, the President of the United States enriched farmers, corporate farmers, not the average farmers, because dairy farmers going out of business as we speak. So it always comes, it all comes back.
And won't nobody talk about that.
No, they going broke,
Dairy farmers.
at the Ten Commandments.
Broke is the Ten
So, it just really boiled down to, as we started out talking earlier about perceived value. It's just perceived value, because if you perceive something to be valuable, you will kill or die for it.
There you go.
If you don't think it's important, then you won't do anything about it. It's like putting up a sign, black on. The first thing I see when I see a black on sign, I look at what the building look like. And if it's magnificent like this place is, then that's something that I'm gonna trust the value of that.
Right.
But if it's black on and half the lights is out, the windows is broken and stuff, then I'm concerned about the perception of it.
The motherfucking cakes and pies they got in there, don't give a fuck about them lights. Go ahead, Jeff, get the mic, bro.
Uncle Bobby has just nullified all the greasy spoons where all the good shit at.
Right.
Okay.
You know, your light
Come
bulb
on,
out, I
Uncle
ain't getting
Bobby.
none of this chicken. Best chicken in the city,
Let's
Nick.
be clear. I am a substandard, weak, conniving, thieving ass king.
Damn.
And I live in a castle. A castle that I stole from a people who are brighter than me, stronger than me, faster than me, more creative than me.
This your rant, keep going.
And they're all outside my castle asking for a key. I'll burn this castle down
Sons of bitches.
before I give them a key.
Thank you, Jeff.
I am so with the ADOS movement and with the reparations movement because it's something. It represents a group of us doing something. But the concept of what reparations is and how niggas is after dollars, don't you know the dollar is about to crash?
Yep.
I know that if I was in charge of the dollar, I would give you niggas all the dollars you wanted,
Yep.
20 minutes before
Yep.
I made it defunct.
Thank you. Bam.
Here niggas take some selfies with this.
Yes. Before I
Make
turn
it- make it rain.
before I turn into monopoly money.
Damn.
How much in reparations dollars is niggas walking out on the NFL on Super Bowl Sunday?
Man.
How much is that worth?
Man.
If 22 players on the field wouldn't gotten their fucking car, well, they'll just get somebody else. Fuck you, you Jasper S. Shea Treehouse coon. That's not the point. I am so tired.
Jasper and them.
Oh, and them, I love that.
I'm sorry.
I am so tired. Whenever you bring up radical change, all you gonna hear from niggas is how hard it is, which is the energy of the slaves who did not run. Some of you do not need to look far to find your family tree. You are related to the niggas that didn't run.
You supposed to sit here.
Yes. It's supposed to be your shit. If you cannot see all I ever hear,
You related to the quitters?
that, yeah,
The niggas
yeah.
just, fuck it, they got us.
That boy got a whole bunch of quit in him, don't he?
God damn it, Jeff.
You,
Related to
This-
slave quitters.
this waiting on this, they owe us.
Oh,
They owe us.
Man.
How much clearer does it need to be that they ain't gonna give you shit?
Oh, God.
Maybe as they die, as racism dies, but there's a fresh batch of it, you may be a little closer. But how much more sense does it make to just start recycling the black dollars that you have? How much more sense does it make to start? I'm gonna let y'all in on some pimp shit I've started to do. I own the domain for onfleek.com. I have started to buy domain names of slang. So that at least the white folks will have to pay somebody.
Because they going to get to it 10 years from now.
10 years, you want to know what black folks were saying 10 years ago? Watch commercials. They put our shit right in commercials
That's right.
and sell with it, and they don't owe us a fucking dime for it because we don't ask for it. Everything that we ask for is shit we should have already if we just put our shit together. We ain't got no money. 2 words, Black Friday. Why isn't Black Friday truly black? Why is it that you don't get up at 5 in the morning and go and either find black businesses to support all day or black people to bless all day?
That's true.
Why? Because you are so fucking hell-bent on being next to, with, compared to. Why? Why? When the projects were made, did they make them with piss in the elevators and busted out windows? No, they didn't. You did that. You. Stop looking at your shit as less than. Why is it not valid till a white man got it first? You don't want shit you ain't seen a white man with. Name one fucking thing other than a dashiki that you want
Harambe.
that some white man didn't have first. Sure, reparations are important because they are owed to you, but they are owed to you by a devil, one who you have all the keys to destroying, and you choose to use none of them because you think your little bit is a lot. You think Oprah got a lot of money. You think Michael Jordan got a lot of money. Do you know why? Because you have no idea how much is truly out there. That's why. Dear Lonnie Love, I sure hope this shit work out. Because if it don't, you do realize you've started the Pepsi Challenge clock, right? You do realize that the whole world, not just niggas, the whole world went, niggas ain't shit and white men is the shit? Oh, really? Well, let's watch. Do you realize that if this shit don't work out for at least 15 years, that all of us are going to come to the conclusion that some of us already know? You dodging your lessons, Lonnie. That's all you doing. And you about to learn a big one. I sincerely hope this white man that you done told the world is yours and he ain't introduced you to his kids yet. I sincerely hope.
What?
Oh, yeah, she don't know his kids. I sincerely hope. And I'm not kidding.
Comedians be spilling the beans.
Nigga. Nigga. That's a fact. That's a fact. She does not know this man's kids. I hope this works, Lonnie. I do. Because I don't want to be amongst the people watching somebody have to talk your ass down off a bridge. Because what the fuck are you going to do if this don't work out? You might.
Tapioca all over the
Nigga, that's hilarious. You might have to look at you. You might have to examine why it is so important that your hair hat costs so much money. Oh yeah, that hair hat costs paper. You do realize that when you put it is. When you put a weave on, you do realize that you are grafting the dead skin cells of another mammal to your scalp. When you do that, you do realize that you are sharing the DNA of another mammal.
Come on.
Okay?
You make it sound fresh.
So
You're a mammal.
yes,
other mammals.
Mammals, because they use horse hair, they use Indian hair. Do you realize that hair is a metaphysical record of triumph and pain? You putting on a whole nother frequency. You putting other people's frequency in your shit. Do you understand that there is a reason?
Other people's spiritual antenna.
Yep. There is a reason why you think you can get to work by just eating 7 apples. It's because you have horsehair in your head. That's why.
All right.
Jeff, did she get her name from the character on Martin that David Allen Greer played, the Reverend? Wasn't he Reverend Lonnie Love?
I have no idea.
He was Reverend Lonnie Love.
I don't know.
All right, so let me just say this to follow up with Jeff. Being on code as a people doesn't mean we're a monolith.
Thank you.
We disagree. You know, we don't agree with everything that everybody within our unit has to say. However, we recognize that there is one prime directive: family over everybody. And if we don't start viewing our community as a family, I mean, there's no way up. Now, I respect Tone and Tariq, and you know, they're going through their thing. Shout out to both of them, and you know, they're going through their difficult moment, and it's okay. And I don't like talking about it publicly because both those guys are my guys.
I hate that it's even happening.
And I'm just gonna make it like this though. Tone, when he breaks down the data with the numbers, the fucking numbers are impeccable, right? When he's talking about the wealth gap, and you know, I've delved into it really deeply now. I've started studying all of Sandy Darity's stuff and his books and Thomas Piketty, and I've been reading all of this stuff. And some people think, okay, we got a little bit. And that little bit is stretched real far because that little bit we got isn't an aggregate bit.
Right.
It's a disaggregate bit, meaning I got mine, I got to take care of mine, my people's.
Right.
These my bills, these my kids, this is my situation.
It's not a picture, it's a puzzle.
Do you get what I'm saying? George Fraser said the same thing. He was like, if you connect the dots of the web all across the country, you'll see that we do have people in little spaces and places doing really well. But if all of that was refocused back in, then maybe we could have a clearer vision of what recycling black dollars mean. We don't have a clear vision of it because, as with any team, if you got players who don't have 2 feet in, you got a player with 1 foot in terms of commitment to the team and 1 foot out. Yep. To me, that's what Lonnie Love represents. Or Serena Williams or whoever, you know. I'm gonna put 2 feet in on the winning team, which is white America. Right? White America. I can't really deal with the struggles that come with black men. And as a selfish little child, I can only focus on the end result that is him. See, grown-ups see context. How did he get here? How'd this motherfucker end up at the bottom of the stairs?
Like, yeah, who pushed it?
Willie, don't be playing that drunk falling down the stairs shit on me.
Right. You been falling down the shit.
Right.
You understand?
How the fuck he at the bottom of the steps when I didn't hear no ka-thump?
Right.
No rinse do, motherfucker.
You understand what I'm saying? We got to start saying, how did we get here before we abandon each other? So that's why I brought up the Tone piece, because when he breaks down the numbers, okay, it's bleak, it's stark. We don't have it. But if we came together and we had $1 trillion working for a goal and a purpose, what other word? A council, an organization that
Black think tank.
a black think that every black person was a part of. What if Tulsa, Oklahoma represented the nation? Like, all 40 million motherfuckers, like, hey.
Work doing, mashing out. Mashing out.
But see, that's the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying,
there it is.
it's hard for you to run around and say, we a team, or I support what you do, when in actuality, what this media represents is entertainment for you.
Sure.
And we started this conversation right here when we were talking about Dr. Khalid Muhammad. When I met him, and then I had the presage to go call him. No, not call him, but look up a video. And I found a video, and he just went in. He went in on our addiction to celebrity. He went in on our addiction to entertainment and how we just want to be talked to. We want to be pep talked. We want to be entertained. We want to be uplifted, but we're not going to do nothing with what we hear said. We're not gonna do nothing. And it's 2020. I started this by saying, look, it's 2020. We're at the beginning of a new decade. When we were kids, you weren't here yet, but I said when we were kids, we saw 2020 as some far off time.
Oh man.
Where we thought, we'd be living like the Jetsons by
Blade
20.
Runner.
But all that shit, right?
Movies, how they,
So again, what niggas want from us, and let's just be honest, let's just keep it 100%. What niggas want from us is the same thing they wanted from Martin. They want us to be here every Monday on time with a show. So they can be entertained by what we do. Them niggas gonna do a song? Is Jeff gonna rap? What beats get?
Without you.
Uncle Kill Your Dreams.
You get what I'm saying? Uncle Kill Your Dreams. Yeah, nigga. You see what I'm saying? It's entertainment. Nobody's putting skin in the game. If all you got is a piece of skin and you're willing to share a piece of skin to somebody else, that perpetuates the whole. But we not trying to perpetuate nothing. We just trying to make it through our day. Now, I bring up this topic today to make a clear point. The clear point is the content of your consciousness is governed by the one who oppresses you. The content of your consciousness is governed by the one who oppresses you. And the one who oppresses you confuses you by as Farrakhan would say, rubbing you with one hand and whooping your ass with the other. He said he whacks you good with this, he rub you good with this hand and then chastise you with this. So again, you got motherfuckers who still believe in the good shit offered by the oppressor.
This one gonna be good. This deal gonna be good. The last
This
one was
deal-
fucked up, but this one gonna be good.
This one. This is a sweet deal right here. If I got a game right now, if I can say so myself. This one right here.
Look at this picture up here. Look at this picture. Let me first say, I've been Team Monique from the Giddy Up. And everything that she has said has come to pass. When she said Oprah was a snake, she was tripping. When she said your boy Lee Daniels was a snake, she was tripping.
Wait, you got to do it in the Lavelle Crawford voice. And then she said,
right. That is the funniest fucking joke. Shout out to Lavelle Crawford. If you have never seen him live, do it before you die. That boy is fucking ridiculous. Anyway,
she said,
all that she said has come to pass. Black people, none of what we are saying can happen. This unity cannot happen for black people. Not yet. I say it again. Shit ain't bad enough yet. It's not bad enough. Until we're being hunted for our skin to literally make jackets. It's going to have to be a skin hunt, bro. Because what black folks love saying is how much we're not alike. Well, you're just alike to the motherfucker behind the scope. The motherfucker on the hill. I love making this analogy to black gay people. You are at a LGBTQ rally. By the way, LGBTQ community, where are you in mass by numbers speaking out about this shit? Can't find you. Be nice to see you.
be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice. You are at a rally. If you could please not do that again.
Wait, what you do?
It was borderline. It was fucking. You ever go? Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Back in the day, you ever go to the video store? You ever go to the video store that had the porn, and you start going through the porn, and you go, ass, women, ass, couple of dicks. Where the hell did that come from? I would take it upon myself to separate the gay porn for the cats behind me. Anyway.
Yeah, you fucked up on that, sir.
Don't put that shit up there.
Jeez.
You're at a gay rally. There are 9,999 white people. You are the only black person there. There is a sniper in a bell tower with a rifle and a scope. when he starts shooting, you think he gonna reload before he get to you? Is he gonna shoot you because you gay first or because you black first? For the very same reason that white women voted for Donald Trump, the reverse of that, the inverse of that, is why you think any of this shit in this society has anything to do with you. It is because white women understood that when you say white woman, you say white first. Niggas is the only one try to put a comma and put that reverse. Oh, I'm a man and then I'm black.
But that's
I'm a
what
man and then I'm
but that's this thing that goes back to the whole. I'm escaping the economic curses, the familial curses, by dating interracially. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I understand if it just happened out the blue and natural and you just met a white fairy that just touched your heart in a way that...
A what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A what?
A white fairy girl just popped out and, oh, shit! I didn't, what the fuck is, I ain't never felt like this before. Hey, you understand?
What is this feeling?
But if there is,
Wait a minute. I ain't mad at none of them pictures. Okay.
I'm not talking about just on.
There's no racism in my pants.
I'm not talking about just on the chakra level, on the carnal level.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about a root chakra.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about on the spirit. See, and you know, like I know, like Bobby know.
You're
like,
not talking on the put your face in the pillow and try to strike oil.
No,
you're not talking from that
if
level.
oil come out that white ass, that's an alien. That bitch sick. There's something wrong. Yes. Bitch, you got oil coming, black oil coming up.
God damn, both of them pictures on the left and the right. Shit.
I just don't want to stray too far from the original concept
I'm
of the
trying to
show.
get back to the point. Go
And
ahead.
that is,
You can keep that up there for the rest of the damn show. I ain't mad at that.
let's work on holding each other. But
Leave that right there.
starting with yourself, including me, let's hold ourselves accountable for affecting change.
How do we
that
do that?
improves.
Give me an example of how we hold ourselves accountable, because the only people that might listen to us are the youth. Old motherfuckers are lost to us right now.
I disagree with that because I done reached the age where I can tell you, you don't have to learn no new tricks. You just have to know the difference between a trick and what it is that you're really all about.
Give us the example.
And so that's where I'm at, man. I'm supposed to teach. And if it's one student or 100, as long as I'm consistent about that, as long as you try to touch somebody in a positive way that improves the likelihood of their lives improving, then be about that on a daily basis.
Let me give you an example, because Bobby won't. He said some good shit. Because he won't. Fuck. I guess I got to do it. Bobby is real tight with my son. And Bobby has done shit for my son to help him just because Bobby want to see him make it to the next level. And Bobby is instrumental in doing certain things.
I gave him his nickname, but go ahead.
So, and that's why I kept pushing Bobby to give the example. Again, Bobby was at the motherfucking Marcus Garvey School, had an office there. Anybody in LA know about the Marcus Garvey School? It's legendary for black geniuses, for producing little kid black geniuses. Bobby was a part of that, right? Bobby has been a part of a lot of things of real worth, substance, and merit. You hear him talking about Lionel T. Guard? He was part of that. Leon T. Guard, he was part of that man's life, right? Bobby be on, listen, when I tell you Bobby called me drunk, but in support, it's the coldest support I've ever got from a drunk person. He be like, listen here, Nick, let me tell you let me tell you now, all this little motherfucker got to do, Nick, man, how many games left? 8, 12? Okay, 8 of the 12 niggas score 30 points and we gonna be all right, okay? I'm just telling you right now, nigga, I got
That's
some shit in the works. Bobby is 100%.
Hence the 10 threes he dropped on their monkey asses it was cool.
Yeah. But
Shout out to the young
But that's
lion.
what I'm saying. There gotta be more people. Like, Bobby, hey, nigga, I'm just calling you to tell you that I appreciate you for allowing me to be
A part of
who
your
the
platform.
fuck I am. You allow me to be who the fuck I am. So I appreciate that shit. But that's how we gotta be with each other.
They don't make these no more.
Do you understand? It don't. I don't give a fuck who agrees and disagrees and all that. We can have our disagreements. I'm from a time where niggas used to, all right, nigga, you want to fight this nigga? I got some gloves, nigga.
Right,
Put the
right,
gloves
right.
on. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, you lost. Y'all niggas is good. And then
done
we
with
back.
this?
And then we back on it.
Right.
So again, we got to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? We got to get back to win. Right? It's too much trying to be in. We need to be
Not enough
more.
win.
Not enough win. And win comes with acceptance. We got to
Too
say,
much trying to
Bobby's
be
my
in.
motherfucker, period.
Need some weed, cause too much trying to be.
On that note, Joe,
Here we go.
let's stay in the affirmative when necessary and not be afraid to critique each other.
Exactly.
But in the sense of trying to improve, it's one thing for somebody to say something to you, and you can tell by the way they said it, they want to bring you down.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can say the same thing to you and lift you up, if that's what they're about.
Yep.
Because it's just right and wrong at the end of the day, man. So let's just hold each other accountable for what we say and what we do.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, and I'm 100% with you on that, Bobby. At the end of the day, hold each other accountable, make respect, or replace Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and all other religious belief systems with respect.
Yeah.
Like if we turned respect and regard and consideration and all that shit into a religion, the respect of our own.
Right.
Like, oh, that's one of our own. That's
Right.
Pops. Then I mean, we take care of Pops.
What
or,
if his-
or that's Let's
What-
get big
What if his slang? What if we was set up to where the slang that Uncle Bobby used was hallowed, as in he could come into a room full of people younger than him, and we got to bow down and go, all hail the Jive Turkey people, all hail because he yeah. To where, what if Uncle Bobby could come in a room and go, hey y'all, some Jive Turkey out here just came out of a bag on me. And we go, say what? And we all ran outside because that meant some heavy shit.
Right.
And then
Jive Turkey came
the
out of
All
a
the
bag.
Way Live people came after him. And then the dope people came after him. And you lit niggas, y'all knew.
Right.
And our slang really was respected. And our customs really were held hallowed instead of trying to go all the way back to find incredible shit.
Right.
Incredible shit starts now.
Incredible shit lives right now.
Right now. Why are the words in the Bible, why are the stories in the Bible bigger than your own stories?
More impactful.
Why are they more impactful?
More meaningful.
You don't have shit to say about God that happened to you. All the shit that God did is back then. Ain't none of it happened to you.
You talking about time repeating itself?
God damn.
Is that a picture of you?
That's me
have it.
at 16 and new now.
Wow.
Do you see that shit?
That's crazy.
Bruh.
You talking about reincarnation?
Wait, for a second, I thought that was one picture.
I did too, man. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
My daughter put this together. I would show you niggas, but
Damn, I thought that was one picture.
That's amazing.
that's me
crazy.
and new, nigga, right now. I used to always say, and this is gonna tie into something for what Jeff just said.
Me
That's why I
and
showed
New?
this picture. I used to always say, New looked more like his mother than he looked like me. And then I would
after
say
that
my
picture.
daughter looks like me more so than her mother. Well, today is my great aunt Pat's birthday. She
birthday,
just
Aunt
recently passed. Now, No, it's all love. Me and Pat had a hard time too. You know, I didn't see Pat a lot, but you know, she was hard. You know, she was hardcore. And you know, I done told y'all stories. You can't be hardcore with Lil Zo. Lil Zo was a little off, and I wasn't having none of that shit. But you know, I steered clear of Pat because we didn't run in the same. You know, I was way younger. That's my great aunt. That's my mother's sister.
So
Now,
she wouldn't got to switch for you.
but wait, she was younger than my mother.
Oh, right. Yeah.
My great aunt Pat was younger than my mother, but she was my mother's sister.
Okay.
So there are no accidents in the universe, man. This morning was her birthday. My great cousin, or my second cousin, posted a picture of me and another one of my cousins because she got it from Pat's family album. And it's me when I'm 16.
Wow.
And I'm looking at this, and it's new now.
It give you chills.
I looked at this shit. So the point that I'm trying to make is, man, if a curse is generational, so can a gift be.
Well, let me put it this way.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
New is a chip off the old block, and the splinters got to fly.
And the splinters got to fly. That's the whole pic. Look at that. That's you? That's me at 16.
No way. No way, man.
You think that's new?
I did.
So again, like, we need to understand, man. It's scary. Even my daughter was like, "Oh God, you look like your
Oh,
son."
God.
My daughter is silly. Oh God, you look like. So again,
Okay, that's not new. I don't know who that is.
yeah, I don't know.
who the fuck
I'm
is
starting
that?
some shit now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Around the closest thing she can get.
I don't know. Yeah. Me and Seeley either.
all y'all
Seeley don't
light-skinned
know
niggas
either.
looking like-
Seeley like, I don't know why he put that picture up there.
Like all
That
light-skinned
ain't-
niggas looking like. Here you
Right?
Nah, man, but I just want to keep. I want to keep reiterating the fact, man, that we keep coming back. Big Mama wasn't wrong when she said, "Bring that baby here so I can see who came back." Let me see who came back. She wasn't wrong. We
No.
keep coming back.
Big Mama was the first 23 and me. That
So-
ain't your baby. Look
That
at
ain't
them
your baby.
Look at them ears. That
This
them-
ain't one of ours.
Them ain't them Fishers. We ain't got ears like that. Dude.
So again, I'm telling y'all,
Take that baby around your friends, see who it look like.
we don't have to keep passing down hate. We don't have to keep passing down envy and competition amongst each other. If we just decided in one generation, whatever the previous generations did was part of their maturation. They needed that to grow up.
Right.
They had to go through that, and ain't no accidents in the universe, and I forgive them, I forgive me, I forgive you, I love you, we still on the same team. If we could just get a generation
Come on.
to collectively go, all right, we all on that. That would be like a cosmic universal reset button. But as long as we extrapolate power from putting each other down, as long as we extrapolate power from judging each other based on a metric system that was created by our oppressors.
Sure.
As long as we, in the position of being well taken care of servants, right? To white,
illusion of inclusion.
the illusion of inclusion, right? As long as we doing that, we're going to be locked in this cycle of servitude.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm taking a moratorium on weed, so it's kind of coming out of
Say
me
what?
weird. Yeah, in spasms. It's coming out.
Clearly, because I was
Yeah.
in the middle of something, and
Okay.
but it's fine.
This is you need to
And
hear
then
this.
weed and
Those
moratorium.
thoughts were almost as important as these.
Okay.
Almost. Not quite. We need to look at, of our ancestors, the ignorance of, by the way, the 20th century was set up financially on the ignorance of the common man. We need to look at the ignorance of our ancestors, the behaviors of our ancestors that we do not like, as a protective coating to deal with the radioactivity of the blast of slavery. We, as generations, keep getting further and further away from the radius of that blast and can now take that coating off. But it's so fucking comfortable. It's so worn well. The whole white man's ice is colder. It's so ingrained in us. See there? If I see that again, I unfriend motherfuckers who put up, if they was white, it wouldn't blank. No shit, nigga. I do not stop watching shit about your people. Do you know why I have not seen When They See Us? Because I have nothing to learn.
Right.
I have not one fucking thing to learn. Am I gonna learn that white pieces? Am I gonna learn that place where I can take this shit off until I stop feeding it? You are feeding a living parasite, black people. The concepts that you have are sucking the fucking life out of you, and you're feeding them.
You see how that feels when people listen while you talk?
I have no idea. I didn't hear you. Could you say that again? I wasn't listening.
What if I was going?
That's hilarious.
Hurry finish, nigga. Hurry finish. Hurry finish.
Hey, this is what we do. We love each other, man. This is the show right here. Nah, man, but this is what we do, man. We keep it real. Like I said, man, this is the first Zoe of 2020. I wanted to make sure we got out here and said something that would inspire you. One team. If we came from a team, we came from a couple. I don't know how we got here. We might want to consult the Anunnaki. Want to get with Inky and Enlil and them niggas. Anu, what happened to his nigga? Where Nibiru at, my Nibiru, you late, nigga. But I'm just saying, like, we got here some kind of way, man.
Nibiru not gonna show up till we.
All I know is modern human came out of Africa, or what is known as Africa. It wasn't called Africa then. And then spread all over the world and seeded everywhere. That's all I know. Now, at the end of the goddamn day, that means we're part of the same team. We got to start acting like it. A tribe is an idea, right? If we start this new idea for 2020, one tribe, right? One humanity. They done already told us. The scientists done already showed us now. They done told you anybody that got Neanderthal blood ain't full human. They said all them African people, those human beings. Everybody mixed with something.
Mixed with something.
Mixed with something. Got Neanderthal in them, up to 2%. All I'm saying is we got to start thinking like a team again, or it's going to be all for naught. I want to thank everybody in the chat room that hit us up, that said what's up, that showed support. Again, support everything. Don't you have something to promote? You have a comedy night, don't you?
Yes, it is.
Tell 'em.
But we're actually moving locations. It is 1581 Productions. We will be back up this year.
Yeah, because you guys are in Madagascar down in Long Beach or something.
Yeah, way the fuck down there. We're not going to be there
goddamn.
anymore. Got a few things. Well, I got something big coming up. I need to do. We have to talk.
Yeah, well,
Holy
it's
shit.
kind of what you do.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fuckery in your planning.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's right.
I don't write anything down in ink.
Okay.
Pencils.
All right. Don't write this shit down. See what happens.
Pencils.
All right. Somebody else. Who else has some shit?
That's all you had? Where's your comedy spot going?
I don't. We're moving right now. We're moving, nigga. Why are you in my? There is sound coming out of your face, and it needs to stop. What are you doing? Why are you touching me so Williams? Oh my God.
I have one thing to say.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Does some other nigga have something he wants to say? I have nothing to say to you people.
Bobby.
Return of Uncle Bobby's Country Corner. It's going to happen.
Kev.
Yeah, realnoggers.com. This is for the books. Remember, you buy the hard copy book, you get the Know Your Rights package for free. Also, this weekend, I'm starting Police Stop Law classes. Police Stop Law classes, you can sign up for those at patreon.com/realnoggers if you want to learn what to do at a police stop.
Timmy Tight Top, tightest t-shirt in the nation.
It's not tight today. We juice.
That t-shirt tight than a motherfucker, nigga.
It's all about health. It's all about working out. It's all about health. Black people still keep themselves together.
What was the word you made up today?
What did I say? What did I say?
What word did he say, y'all? He made up a...
Molecular?
No,
No.
it was a new one.
What
it
was
a
it?
new one.
New Year's resolution. Resolution.
It wasn't resolution.
No, that one's made up by some
that's not what I said.
It was Zesolution. Zesolution.
WeJuice.com. Pick up your
Zesolution.
juices. We deliver every day, all day. It's still about health. Be wealthy. Be wise. Black
All right,
people stay
really
strong.
quickly. We have 892. We were up to 1,000 people in the chat room. I need everybody to go over to iStar right now. I am less than 20 subscribers. Fezolution. Yeah, you said Fezolution. I am less than 20 subscribers away on iStar from 500. I need everybody to go over there right now. If all 800 could do it, I'd appreciate it. My iStar, how you find me is iStarVids, VIDZ.com. Once you get to iStarVids.com, then click Zesolution is what he said. And then click Mr. or Zowhat iStar. Once you get there, Zowhat iStar. So that's iStarVids.com. Then search Zowhat iStar. Subscribe today. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm Zoe Williams. This has been the Zowhat Show, and we out of here. Deuces.
Peace.